currency or collateral that I will hold in order to do business with you. They break open your house one time, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on Saieed. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go in a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Dance! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. It's been a long time since I haven't gone live on national television. But nevertheless, we are here. We are starting back our live program from tonight, viewers. And I had some work going on in the credit union in South, but nevertheless, we are up and running in South. But we're going to talk about that a little later on. Right now, it's news right here on Real Talk. So remember, viewers, call your friends, call your family. Let them know Real Talk with Saieed Ali is going live on Synergy Network from 7 to 8 p.m. and a rerun the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So share our Facebook stream, viewers, Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Facebook. We also on YouTube, it's TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. Share our page. Also, viewers, 4% on fixed deposit, interest up front. It's for the people of San Fernando. It's for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Remember that, 4% on fixed deposit. We started it back, viewers. So, take your hard-earned cash from the bank that you're not getting a proper interest on and bring it to Real Talk. You're definitely sure you're cutting a check with an upfront interest and you're good to go. Remember that. So we are live, viewers. Send your message to your friends. Saieed is going live. So as we start off our program tonight, remember, viewers, those of you who are looking for a spiritual consultant, remember, you can always call me at 339-1670. And let's get the ball rolling. The Ministry of Education has begun its first tranche of payment to eligible applicants for the ministry's $1,000 book grant offered by the government. Payments to direct bank deposit have also begun. However, only some people were notified, as not all financial institutions have received the fund. This process, the ministry said, will carry over into the next week. So it's this week and next week. So let's just hope now that there is not a faulty system. Remember, Embert said, due to a faulty system, they lost almost $3 billion. Remember that? So let's just hope now, viewers, that this book grant, the $1,000 that are being deposited into your account, let's just hope that it doesn't malfunction and we lost $3 billion again. Now, praising the ministry initiative to relieve some of the financial strain faced by country's parent, National Parent Teachers Association President Walter Stewart said he believed it will go a long way. However, the NPTA said they would prefer for such payment to be done during the second week of the vacation in the future, as this could allow parents to buy their children school supplies without rushing or facing a shortage of supplies. Parent guardian with a monthly income of $10,000 or less, or with children who have disability, or of student in receipt of grants from the Ministry of Social Development and Family Service are eligible for the grant. However, parents with ECCE students are not eligible. According to a report, a 33-year-old woman who is a mother of two was arrested for stealing books valued at $2,150 from Mohammed's bookstore in Port of Spain. So it's a good initiative, viewers, that the government, once they give you $1,000 who are eligible for it, it will go a long way. It will help, it will help, it will help. Those of you who are eligible, check your bank accounts. If you have gotten your notice from the ministry, and see if you get the grant. Now, in helping is all well and good. It's all well and good that the government has taken up this initiative. But again, we need to keep an eye out that to make sure the system works. And we do not lose another $3 billion when the Ministry of Finance tried something, I have to say. I have to say tried something. Because in trying a new system, we lost $3 billion. Imagine that. Imagine that due to a faulty system. Can we face that again? Can Trinidad and Tobago do that again? No, we can't. We can't afford to do that. So 238-6716 viewers, feel free to call in. Let's hear what you have to say concerning the issues that is plaguing Trinidad and Tobago. We in a state, you know. We in a state. Moving along. After over 600 laboratory confirmed cases of dengue fever and 5 deaths, the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government has now begun what it says is an aggressive campaign to clean up vacant lots across the country. Minister Saieed Ali said the 7 weeks cut and clear initiative will see 900 community-based environmental protection enhancement program (CPEP) workers carrying out cleanup exercise, tackling 2 regional corporation area per week. The program kicked off on August 5th in the Penal Debe Regional Corporation and the San Fernando City Corporation area. Listen to this. Arawi said the program will be clearing and cleaning up vacant lots, but the crew will be limited to public land. He said this is because current legislation does not allow them to enter private property to work. Now, let's stay with this private property issue. Now, I believe the corporation can send a letter to private owners of property where the grass is almost tall like me. Send a letter to the owner letting them know that there are overgrown grass in your lot. And if you fail to clean up your lot, the corporation will send workers to clean up the lot, and I believe they're going to charge you for that. Now, this is what I believe, because I believe it happened already. He said, Al-Rawi said, that this would solve the local government reform and introduction of property tax. In the meantime, the ministry said citizens need to be responsible and clean up their surrounding. Al-Rawi said the initiative will not cost taxpayers because the CPEP asset was simply being redirected.
I want to thank the media for paying attention to our clean and cut campaign. As you know, dengue is a serious issue in Trinidad and Tobago. The offices of public health spread across Ministry of Health and at the corporations and with the ministry's involvement. We have a very aggressive campaign to try and treat and remedy some of the situations and causes that are promoting dengue. Part of the clean and cut campaign involves the utilization of CPEP. Very pleased to tell you that we have a 7-week program. We started our works at the Penal Debe Regional Corporation and the San Fernando Corporation. We're doing 2 corporations a week. We have 7 weeks of program, so we cover all 14 corporations. Effectively, we have 900 people every single day out and about clearing areas that people have been offering complaints about. This is a very important campaign, and we want to thank the CPEP Limited for their work involved. The cost is really going to be the delay in CPEP's usual work as we spread them in a blitz campaign right now. By taking a combined 2 corporations approach, as we did in the cleanup campaign, we have experience on doing this. We're able to do this utilizing state resources at no additional cost to the taxpayer.
Congratulations for this initiative. Now, the public can report any overgrown area by sending their name, contact information, location of the overgrown area and a nearby landmark via WhatsApp only to 766 4199. That is 766-4199. So if there's an overgrown lot and you know the owner, you know the address, you can send the information to 766-4199 and make your report. So now, viewers, staying on that, 2 more persons have died from dengue fever, bringing the 8 as the number of people who died due to this disease this year. The Ministry of Health also confirmed that laboratory cases have surged from 666 confirmed cases to 712 cases. In the San Francisco Pinal region, over 24 people have been experiencing dengue-like symptoms and have taken blood samples for testing. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health also clarified that when a patient is hospitalized or dies from suspected dengue, blood samples are sent to the Trinidad Public Health Laboratory and then to the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, for confirmation. This process can take up to 2 weeks, during which time cases cannot be officially confirmed, the ministry added. The public is advised to seek prompt medical attention if experiencing warning signs of dengue fever, including a sudden drop in body temperature, intense abdominal pain, bleeding persistent, vomiting, and dizziness. Anyone experiencing fever, pain behind the eyes, joint pain, skin rash, and nauseousness should immediately seek help at the nearest medical center. So viewers, remember that. Remember that, remember that, remember that. If there is a lot next to you that needs cleaning, report the matter, take pictures, send information to 766-4199. That could help your community breaks the dengue virus. So we are going for a short commercial break, viewers. But when we come back, we're going to hear a story about Jindal again after this.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas or number 132 Paria Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real public concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
So welcome back to Real Talk viewers. Remember, we live on Synergy Network. Remember that. All the reruns are done. We start back our live program tonight. I do apologize for the reruns. I was working on the Real Talk Credit Union South Building to open on the 5th. But I'll give you a little more on that later on, maybe around 7:30. Now, disappointed by opposition reaction to his visit to TNT, India industrialist and investor Nivan Jindal will not bid for the Petrotrin refinery. He revealed this in a letter to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley on July 26th. Rowley then went on to read, accept the letter from Jindal sent to him. Part of the letter from Jindal in which he said that the character assassination he experienced for considering the investment opportunity in the Wayakara refinery was deeply disheartened and discouraged. Moreover, Jindal said that the unjust attack are unconnected to legal matter and set a troubling precedent for potential investor planning to invest in Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this.
So he's written to me. Let me just quote a couple of paragraphs for you. I wish to express my deepest gratitude for the warm hospitality extended to me and my team during our recent visit to Trinidad and Tobago. The opportunity to pay a courtesy visit on June 17, 2024, and explore the possibility of participating in the Guayakara refinery bidding process was both enlightening and inspiring. It is with great disappointment, therefore, that I must address the reaction led by the official opposition parties following our visit. The character assassination I experienced merely for considering the investment opportunity in the Guayakara refinery was deeply disheartening and discouraging. Moreover, the unjust attacks directed at our group's companies, entities that operate independently and are unconnected to legal matters, mischaracterized in the local press and parliament, set a troubling precedent for potential investors planning to invest in Trinidad and Tobago.
In the letter to Rowley, Jindal said that he understood the vital role constructive opposition play in a healthy democracy. However, he said the behavior exhibited by the opposition in this instance risks causing significant economic and reputational damage to TNT. Jindal said such action will deter potential investors, leading to missed opportunity for economic growth and a job creation, and untimely disadvantaging the people who will benefit from these investments. Now listen.
However, in my respectful view, the behavior exhibited by the opposition in this instance risks causing significant economic and reputational damage to Trinidad and Tobago. Such actions will likely deter potential investors, leading to missed opportunities for economic growth and job creation, and ultimately disadvantaging the people who would benefit from these investments.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, all over the world, Jindal have been highlighted as an individual on corruption charge in India. I'll tell you something, eh? If I, in Trinidad, are being charged on corruption charges, do you think I could go to the United States and do business? Do you think any businessman in another country would want to do business with Saieed, seeing that I am on a corruption charge in Trinidad? Common sense. This is common sense. And not much people would understand that if an individual is doing business with me or a company is doing business with me, seeing that I am on a corruption charge, it will also give that person a bad character. Because then Saieed being charged for corruption in Trinidad is associated with another company. So that company now is going to get a stigma. And you know, we Trinidadians, we love stigma. We love that. So someone bidding for the refinery is all well and good. Nothing is wrong with that. But you have to come clean. Any businessman doing business with any company around the world would do background checks and make sure that the company is safe. And there are no charges to that company or individuals of that company. This is common sense. Common sense. Jindal said the development had shaken confidence and his companies had felt compelled to reassess from this, to pull back. Kamla Prasad did what she thought was best by letting Trinidad and Tobago know that, hey, the individual that is going to take your refinery is on corruption. Do we need that money? How would we call that money? You tell me. Paula, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed. Great program as usual, man. I saw the opening of your place there, man. That place is better than Central Bank, man. So, congratulations on your opening of that business, and I wish you all the best with your endeavors and your credit union and so on. Anyway, this man, Idi Amin, brother, who going about talking that bunch of pirates as though the opposition leader, the UT, is responsible for closing down Petrotrin, you know. What happened here is that a big bubble, when you sit down and analyze it, this man, Jindal, is a man in bubble and corruption. You had a man in NGC, hired by this present government, this bunch of pirates, invested almost $1 billion of our money, US money. And you know what was his explanation? It has happened all over the world. A deal go bad. That was his explanation, you know. And exonerate that man from NGC. So this was a big bubble waiting to happen in Trinidad. But thank God for people like you, your program, the opposition, pick up on it and bust the mark. So he know, crying like a baby and trying to explain to the citizen of this country as though the opposition UNC was responsible for closing down Petrotrin and not the PNM. And this is what he must admit, is the PNM responsible for bringing suffering to the people and the family who used to work in Petrotrin. Mr. Said, you keep up the great work. God bless you with your future endeavors, man.
Thank you, my friend. Rowley stated that this was someone $700 million to bring the refinery into operation. And the only people that doesn't want this to happen is a few politicians. He said, this is sandals all over again. Listen.
From our organization's point of view, these actions by the purported government in waiting raise serious concerns as they represent an element of risk and potential instability that is incompatible with providing a predictable and secure investment climate. Consequently, these developments have shaken confidence, and our companies have felt compelled to reassess the viability of proceeding with a formal bid for the refinery at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an investor who was prepared to consider putting in a bid in the offer of approximately $700 million to bring that refinery into operation. And the only people in this country who don't want that to happen is a handful of politicians who don't care if you eat the bread the devil need, because they prefer to have the refinery there, talking stupidness about it, than to see it restarted and operated in a different way for the benefit of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This is sandals all over again.
So I just want to clarify this with our Prime Minister. A bunch of politicians doesn't want the refinery to start back. An individual on a corruption charge in his country is willing to bid $700 million US to get the refinery up and running again. Wasn't this man, our Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, didn't he said a couple of years ago that my government is not going to shut down Petrotrin? Now he's blaming the opposition for running an investor from invested into the refinery. An investor who is allegedly on corruption charge. So while the Prime Minister is blaming the UNC, he forgot he said, my government will not shut down Petrotrin. What did Espinel said? All going home. Don't call me to ask me how many. All going home. So Trinidad and Tobago, rock back a little bit and think for a few seconds. Who said they're not going to shut it down? Who shut it down? Call her good night.
Good evening, Saeed. With regards to the Indian businessman Jindal bidding and pulling out his bid for the Point of Paria refinery because of corruption charges that was laid out, bringing the public domain by Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the UNC. I want to highlight this. Right now, Kamla Prasad Bisesa has one of a certain member of parliament who is in $1 million bill for corruption, for defrauding the government of Trinidad and Tobago with taxes. Right? Now, that is something Kamla Prasad Bisesa should think about, clean her house first before she go publicly. No problem with anybody with corruption charges, but the right thing must be the right thing.
I understand.
Right? You cannot say Jindal is in corruption, and prevent him from bidding for the Point of Paria refinery. When you have a certain member of parliament, a certain member of your parliament in your opposition is on $1 million bill, so what's the big difference there?
I understand what you're saying.
Before you clean other people's house.
True. I understand.
That's my position right now.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to hear a police probe into Paria diving death almost completed after this.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid upfront. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Paria Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Union thing. So Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Remember, those of you seeking spiritual help, you can contact me at 339-1670. Those of you who want 4% on your fixed deposit interest, contact me also on 339-1670, 242-7690, 238-6716, and 267-7325. Remember that, viewers. Fixed deposit interest, we are paying the highest rate in Trinidad and Tobago with an upfront interest. Imagine you invest $100,000 for 5 years and you get $20,000 upfront. You're making a down payment on a car, you're buying TV, you're buying a couch, you're doing over your porch, your kitchen, you're refurbishing your car. Only at Real Talk Financing you're gonna get that. So remember that, viewers, grab the opportunity. For the people of South Trinidad, grab the opportunity. Paula, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Said, congrats on the opening of your next branch of your credit union.
Thank you, my dear.
Most welcome. Said, Rowley should be the last man to talk about who will make us eat the bread the devil need in this country. Because we eating it raw. We eating it where it ain't even baked. And he had the gall to say, Mrs. Prasad Bisasande stopping Jindal from buying the refinery or improving it, whatever it is. And we will eat the bread the devil need. Rowley, we eating it. Look at book grant is $1,000. Where in this conniving world could parents take $1,000 to buy books for their children to go to school, Saeed? All the years gone by, you had to pay registration fee.
Yes.
In the secondary schools. Election next year. Big SOS. No fees. People bent backward last year, September. Had to pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, fees for when the children enter in the secondary schools. All of a sudden, that was eliminated this year. How strange. And I wonder if somebody vexed because they probably ain't getting the kickback when Jindal decide to take over the refinery. So that is what have everybody on edge now. Saeed, have a good night.
Thank you, my friend. So let's talk about a little bit of the Real Talk Credit Union in South. We have videos and pics of it. Director. So viewers, on the 5th of August, Real Talk Credit Union opened its second branch in South Trinidad. Now, I was not live for the last 3 weeks because of the fact that I was in the building, in the credit union in South, doing some work. Now, not because I am side and because I am up here as a 1% bracket, which means I cannot go down and do my own work. So I was in the South office of the credit union, working like any individual. I was any laborer. I was there. So I want to thank the people that attended our opening. I want to thank the imam, the pastors. I want to thank Kiran Singh, the president of the South Chamber of Commerce. Thank him for attending. I want to thank everybody. The opening was grand. It was beautiful. I'm going to tell you something. It couldn't be better. It couldn't be better. So, Real Talk Credit Union has its second branch in South Trinidad, viewers, at number 25 Cipero Street in San Fernando. Remember, it's a beautiful building, viewers. You can't miss the building. You just can't miss it. For those of you, there's Mr. Kiran Singh. I do want to thank him very much for coming to the opening. As you can see, everyone is dressed beautiful and handsome. Mr. Kiran Singh, a very meek and humble fella in the South area. Glad I met with him. We have Mark there. This is the building in San Fernando. 25 Cipero Street in San Fernando. You cannot miss it on Cipero Street. For those of you who know Cipero Street in San Fernando, you all know where Scotiabank was by the traffic light. You keep it on Cipero Street, and as you bend the slide corner, opposite the bar, you will see this beautiful building. You cannot miss it, viewers. So for the people of South, take advantage of the 4% on fixed deposit Real Talk Finance is offering. Remember that. Remember that, viewers. You can't miss it. Go on to the Real Talk Credit Union Facebook page. All the requirements are pinned to the top of the page, viewers. Take your time, read it. Get what is required and come open a savings account, buy shares at Real Talk Credit Union South office. We look forward to dealing with you, the public of South Trinidad. As the months go by, viewers, Real Talk is going to spread out throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Real Talk Financing, Real Talk Credit Union, Real Talk Equipment, Real Talk Security, Real Talk Wrecking Service. We are going to be spreading throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Hopefully, maybe before the year done, you never know, we could have a Real Talk Credit Union in Guyana, in Grenada, in Barbados, in Dubai, you never know. But I am a man with a vision for my company, and we have started extending our business into Guyana. Very soon we'll be in Grenada and Barbados. Remember that, viewers. Remember that. What became a thought? A thought became a vision. A vision became reality. Remember that. You must have a thought in order to become a vision. And when you have your vision and you know what you want to be in that vision, you make it into reality. So viewers, remember that we at Real Talk, we open for business with you at number 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Shogunas and number 25 Paria Street in San Fernando. Just to add to this, those of you who have US currency to sell, I am buying. You can contact our office. We are paying $7.50 for $1. Remember that, viewers. $7.50. I believe I'm paying the highest amount in Trinidad presently. But nevertheless, you have friends, family, anybody have US currency to sell? If you have it in the bank and you could transfer it to our account, all well and good. Real Talk is purchasing US currency. Paula, good night.
Hi, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
I just want to touch on a little thing with the refinery is concerned now.
Go right ahead.
Now, if it is that you have $1,600 billion to spend, and you can afford to buy 2 oil rigs, and say in the parliament, Madam Speaker, I and the next parliamentary person bought 2 oil rigs worth $800 billion each. How is it they cannot spend money to refurbish the refinery?
Correct.
These people are blindly robbing this country. And somebody needs to stand up to them and let them know, listen, this don't belong to you. Don't sell something that don't belong to you. You could get arrested.
Correct.
This behavior just went out the door.
Correct.
Anyhow, that's about what I wanted to touch on, that $1,600 billion Embed spend. Why he spend so much money on buying 2 oil rig and then close down Petrotrin? You don't own this. Why is it you trying to own the refinery and then one play making everybody believe you're selling the refinery?
Paula, not everybody have common sense, you know.
He probably grew up off of the subsidies we was getting from that paying all the government workers, everybody in this country. All the money that he taking and he protecting himself, but it belongs to the people.
I understand. True. The refinery belongs.
Thank you very much for your little views and the comments that you make. It's Real Talk. We talk here.
Yes. Thank you, my friend. So viewers, moving along the line now. Police are close to completing their investigation into the death of 4 divers who became trapped inside a Paria fuel trading company pipeline over 2 years ago. Deputy Commissioner of Police Suzette Martin stated that the investigator met on Tuesday and may meet again later this week, depending on whether they received the document they needed to complete the investigation. She added that the officers would be seeking advice from the Director of Public Prosecution, that's the DPP, Roger Gaspard, which may lead to them making further inquiries after securing the request document. Last week, the DPP said the commissioning finding and recommendation were not evidence and advised Police Commissioner Earl Haywood Christopher to investigate whether a person or entity should be criminally charged in connection with the diver's death. Gaspar said the only possible criminal offense is manslaughter by gross negligence, as corporate manslaughter, as suggested by Commission Chairman Jeremy Lynch SC, does not exist in the law. Unlike the United Kingdom, there has been no statutory intervention in Trinidad and Tobago to create an offense known as corporate manslaughter, Gaspar said. So, according to Gaspar, you could be charged with the offense is manslaughter by gross negligence. So that could be a charge. We just have to wait and see how this investigation is going. He stated that while the words were not inscribed in Trinidad and Tobago law books, there is presidency of a company organization being charged with manslaughter. Lynch added, though the manslaughter by gross negligence, which exists within the laws of the country, encompasses the threshold needed for corporate manslaughter. Imagine this, eh? We are going for a short commercial break, viewers, but when we come back, we're going to hear the PM. By UNC logic, Paria should be closed, according to the probe. Caller, good night.
Yes, good night.
My friend, go right ahead.
Concerning these divers you're talking about there, tell me something now. Is it that the commissioner now get the go-ahead from the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security to go ahead and investigate the situation?
After 2 years.
Look how long this incident happened, Saieed.
Yes.
Look, the investigation now is underway. You think anything will come out of this investigation now?
We just...
People need to understand what's going on in this country, right? This commissioner of police is a complete waste of time. She was at the bottom of the merit list. And Rowley handpicked this woman to put she as the commissioner. And then they wonder why this crime out of control. So
correct.
You understand what I'm trying to? People need to understand what is going on here and start looking at the bigger picture. Right? Who is getting killed every day? Who is getting robbed every day? The normal citizens of the country, right? Not the politicians.
Correct.
Not the hierarchy police and them that sit down in the big high tower building in Port of Spain. Not them. It was really people outside here at a fence for ourselves outside here. And let me tell you something, right? I want to know how much of people apply for FUL, get the provisional license, and the commissioner just refusing to approve these people license. They have all the relevant documents, right? They have everything in order. But I'm going to tell you what it is, I can tell you straight off the bat, you know. It's people on the race, you know. It's why they don't want to approve certain people's firearm, you know. When they look at people's file and they see who it is, they don't want to approve it to people.
Correct.
Look at what people have provisional right now. They can't even get a word from the commissioner office, but are they getting it approved or they're not getting it approved? The only way to get some kind of response from them, you have to go down and get an attorney and carry them to court.
Yes.
And embarrass them for them to give you any kind of response on your file number, anything that pertains to your FUL file. So you tell me how it is people from the country, citizens of the country, supposed to have any kind of respect for law and order in the country when them playing these kind of hierarchy games with people's lives. Because them have service fire and them could go home with genocide.
Yes,
I don't have that, you don't have that, none of we don't have that, We have to depend on this woman who's a complete failure to sign out a approve letter and send out a FUL booklet for it. So we can go and purchase something now to try and safeguard we and we family. You tell me that if that's fair to the people of this country now, anyhow, sir, you enjoy it.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to hear the logics between the Prime Minister and
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Paria Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali has offered no opinion on a decision by Director of Public Prosecution, DPP Roger Gasper, SC, to instruct Commissioner of Police Earla Hayward Christopher to initiate criminal investigation to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to charge any person or entity with manslaughter by gross negligence over the Paria diving tragedy. However, he wondered whether opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa will publicly demand that no one do business with the Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited on the basis of Gasper advice to the police. The PM said that the DPP now has instructed the police to use the evidence of the Commissioner of Inquiries to see whether any persons or whether any company, including Paria, could be charged for criminal conduct, including manslaughter. Let's listen to this.
As a result of the matter with the unfortunate incident with the divers, the DPP has now instructed the police to use the evidence of the Commission of Inquiry to see whether any person or any company, including Paria, could be charged for criminal conduct, including manslaughter. Is Mrs. Prasad Bisesa saying that we must now close down Paria because nobody should be doing business with Paria because the DPP say that there's possible criminal conduct there to be looked at? And if in fact a charge is laid against Paria as a company or an individual in Paria is charged, we have to stop doing business with Paria. So we'll go and put gas in the car quicker. Because Paria will not be able to import any fuel because they would have been charged.
Hey, watchman, I real back and all day, you know. Back and forth. 5 people died. What happened? No result as yet. But nevertheless, we're going to Tobago. Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Farley Augustine is moving to choke criminal activity and the flow of guns into the island. In a response to Tobago murder toll, Augustine launched immediate security measures to secure its border and stop island criminal activity. Hear how they do this, eh? This includes the rental of 2 fishing vessels and the purchase of vehicles for the TNT Coast Guard to monitor the sea and operate on land, and the close monitoring of the movement of visitors and locals in the accommodation and car rental business. So we gone from Coast Guard boat now to fishing boat. I'll tell you something. Tobago is a small island, a population of approximately 50 to 60,000 people. What you need, and this is something I will always say, because I am involved in security in a heavy way, also technology in a heavy way. With a population of 50 to 60,000 people in an island, TGPS needs to be keeping random roadblocks, random raids in the community, gathering intelligence, and make their work successful. I always say this. In Trinidad, if we want to stop criminal activity and the escalation of crime, we need random roadblocks. We need random raids in the community. We need intelligence. Every station in the community must be able to pinpoint who is the drug man. Every police station or officers in the community needs to pinpoint who is the drugs man, who is the cocaine man, who is the marijuana man, who is the gun man, who is the bandits in the community, and get rid of them. How do you want to fix crime in your country? That is what you do. But apparently, the Minister of National Security has no common sense. And another minister has been placed into the Ministry of National Security, who said he's going to ride his bicycle to work and he's going to go back to the coal pot days. Is that going to fix crime? Is that going to fix crime? Keith Scotland was questioning the Commissioner of Police in a joint select committee, and after Scotland hammered that woman, he became the minister in the Ministry of National Security. How many FULs license are there in front of you? 25,000. How much did you approve in your tenure? 100. Viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, this is a discussion for our next night. So until we meet again, I am Saieed Ali saying good night to you, the viewers of Real Talk with Saieed Ali.